Hey guys, welcome to my new podcast. I know that's what everybody's doing right now. It's the new rage because we're all stuck inside. But I actually want to do a little podcast series here called Defining Christianity. And I find just, in my daily routine as a Christian, the different people that you meet, the people that you talk to from all different denominations and walks of life have different ideas about what a Christian actually is. And of course, many people wear the label of Christian, but they do things that, from my perspective, studying the Bible every day, Jesus is pretty clear. If you do those things, you're actually not a Christian. Whereas if you don't do certain things, then you're also not a Christian. And so I know that might sound a little maybe black and white, but the truth is that a lot of this stuff is pretty black and white. And we understand in any other occupation or any other walk or hobby that when you act a certain way, that's how you define who you are. And so if I practice, archaeology, but I've never actually studied it and I don't actually go anywhere and dig anything, then I'm not an archaeologist. And so that's really what it comes down to. So if you could turn with me to Acts chapter 11. And I just want to read a quick passage, Acts chapter 11, verse 25. And it says, "Then Barnabas went to Tarsus to look for Saul. And when he found him, he brought him to Antioch. So for a whole year, Barnabas and Saul met with the church and taught great numbers of people. The disciples were called Christians first at Antioch." So here you see that the first 10 years of the church, this word Christian had never even been used before. In fact, Jesus never used the word Christian. The word Christian is just a Greek word that means Christ-like, or little Christ. And so when you were a disciple of Jesus in the first century, you were called as a nickname, and I believe a disparaging nickname. They were making fun of the disciples, that they were like Christ, or they were little Christs, because they were actually living like Christ. And so in the first century church, this word Christian didn't even exist until much later, and it was given to them by those who were not actually Christians. So for us today, we are not called to be quote-unquote Christians, and it's not a cultural thing, it's not a traditional thing. What it is, biblically speaking, is a disciple of Jesus. If you're a disciple of Jesus, then you are a Christian. If you are not a disciple of Jesus, then you are not a Christian. And it's really that simple. If I don't play basketball, I'm not a basketball player. Doesn't matter if I wear the gear. It doesn't matter if I tell people I'm good. If I don't play, I don't play. I'm not a basketball player. Same thing with Christianity. And so we're going to look at some different topics in this podcast series where we can kind of look through, okay, well then, what are different aspects of being a disciple of Jesus? And if these are different aspects biblically of being a disciple defined by Jesus, and this doesn't define us, well then we know we have some work to do if we actually want to be Christians. And we shouldn't just wear the label without living the life. Just like you shouldn't wear a label in any other aspect of your life if you're not actually going to do it, if you're not going to live it. And so really that's going to be the point of this podcast, and we've all got some extra time on our hands, so I hope you enjoy it as I roll out some short videos. And we'll just take small topics, little bite-sized topics, and we'll look at defining Christianity. Thanks so much for listening.